I bet you often notice certain people who aren't like you, people who seem to have a higher social status, who seem to be attracted to girls on their own. It feels like their problems are solved by themselves. Maybe you already have images of such people in your head from your environment or movies. Personally, I have such a movie image, Cliff Booth from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, that's exactly what Brad Pitt does. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I advise you to watch it. You'd rather fix it socially. Cliff Booth is a loser who lives in a trailer with a dog. He has no friends besides his boss. He has a bad reputation, and because of that has little contact with anyone. But ask yourself a question despite that people want to be like him. Why? If that's true, there must be a reason for it. So there's something special about him. But what's most likely? You've already guessed it. It's confidence. He doesn't care about any of his trappings. He knows who he is and he knows his worth. The most important thing for him in his life is that there's nothing in his life that can lead him astray or make him do anything he doesn't want to do. Because that's where his principles and his understanding of himself and his friends come in. You have no idea what kind of base you're going to get, but it's something you have to grow up to, which may be new to you, and I ask you to analyze all this information in your head. Today, as you have already understood, we're going to look at the concept of self-confidence. In simple words, confidence is your inner support. You can handle any external obstacles that come your way. Sounds like populism. That's not the case, but that's the key. And that's what 90% of men underestimate. Think about it. You've faced a new obstacle in your life. For example, you've been dumped by your girlfriend. I think it's happened to everyone. That's why I took this example. What will help you come out of this situation as a winner and get out of all this wild boosts? I understand. And take any situation like this. If you're confident in your abilities and have good judgment, what's going on will make you the most dominant male in your neighborhood. Let me remind you of the reality you live in. Now, testosterone levels in men have dropped by 15 to 20 pro according to different studies. What does that mean? Just look around you when you're walking. On the street, especially if you live in a big city, how many men now look more like dolls that can't make you feel like you're standing next to a man? They look more like boys. And the problem is that even at 30, they will look more like boys and not men. Always the outside reflects the inside. If they look like they just came out of a beauty parlor and are afraid to scratch their manicure, then confidence and masculinity are out of the question. I will offer you a different way. A way where there is no room for pity and all the accompanying factors that your female upbringing has given you. I suggest you put all the unnecessary nonsense out of your head and become a real man. You already have your own personality traits that make you unique. Analyze them. How many of them are inherent to a man? Let's do it together. What would you rather do in a situation like this? Put the responsibility on someone else, or take the responsibility for everyone on yourself, at work, get beaten up, ask for a raise, or know your own worth and stand your ground? You know how to say no and set your own boundaries, or you allow yourself to be humiliated for the sake of others and be a nice boy who can be used. I can already see certain situations from your life running through your head. Yes, it's happened to everyone, and you need to experience it to grow to a certain level and to understand it like this. It can't go on any longer, but the problem is that all these masculine skills that I said above can't be apart from each other. They are like muscles that are attached to a skeleton and are held on a certain support. As you might have guessed, that support is yours, self-confidence. That's why you don't have these qualities. That's why you sometimes would rather not say anything than do something and let others take your place, because you don't have that base. There's no skeleton to hold all your muscles as a set of masculine qualities, but that's why you're in the right place, and that's why you're in the right place. In the right place. And now we're going to go through all of this. You've just realized the importance of self-confidence. And now we're going to figure out how to build it. I'll tell you right away, it's complicated. There's nothing easy that can get you to Olympus and give you. It's all about sub-points and incremental steps that most people don't pay any attention to, which is a fatal mistake. Let me start, and then you'll figure it out for yourself. First of all, the hardest thing to start with. Many people spend their whole lives on this and still can't find the answer to this question, but without it, your life can't go on in a confident way without the answer to this question. You're just doomed. Think and answer now, at least to yourself. Who are you? What do you bring to this world? What is your purpose without understanding yourself? You will not be able to achieve anything. You will just go with the flow and hope for luck in case you get lucky here or there at work or in your personal life. But there is no such thing as a friend. You cannot be lucky without doing anything, as one of the founding fathers said. Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States. I'm a firm believer in luck. I've noticed that the more I work, the luckier I am. That's the truth. But to work, you have to know what you're working on and what you're working for. That's why it's so important to understand who you are, what you bring into this world, and what your purpose is. The first and basic thing you have to do if you want to gain confidence is to find your values, what you really care about, and what you're willing to do for the rest of your life. It's not just flipping through Instagram feeds or going out with your friends and hanging out. It's those things that you're willing to do day and night, all day long, even for free. You should love these things with all your soul, and they should love you. Ideally, of course, it's one thing that you can give all of yourself to, but I'll start by suggesting that you write out 3 to 5 areas according to the criteria. It can be a family, a certain kind of activity, a job, a hobby, and anything that comes to your mind doesn't have to fit the framework I've given you. If you write one, it's cooler than 10 if that's what it is. 6 Uyost weighty. Open your imagination and fantasy, and don't be shy to write. Write everything just for yourself. After you've done that, think about what can bring you the most profit in life. Don't forget the law of the desk, which says that 80% of the result brings 20% of the work, and vice versa. 20% of the result brings 80% of the work. Think about where is the 20% that you would concentrate on. The most important thing that you have to realize from all this action is your basic value. It comes from your own uniqueness, and no one can diminish it unless you let them. What you choose to do is your purpose. And when you understand why you live your life, a lot of things will fall into place. That's your skeleton on which your whole life will be based when you understand where you are. 645. You want to be where you are? That is your point B. Think about what qualities a person should have who is worthy of this award, what he should do, how he should behave, how he should look. All of this plays not the least role. If you see yourself in business, you think the head of some large, I doubt it. If he didn't have these qualities, he wouldn't be where he is. Write down and do all the tips in this video, otherwise, why are you watching this? You will notice a qualitative rise in your standard of living, because from now on, when someone steps on your boundaries, you will have principles according to which you will act. You will not allow someone to treat you like a rag that flows. Strictly according to the current and lives only for pleasure, but also the most important thing is not even an external change, but internally your focus will change and your attention will shift from the abstract and vague to one or more areas that will define you and your life. But this will only happen if you want it. It will be on the condition that you will. Remember, knowledge is worth nothing if it is not put into practice. So get up now and do it. Practice it, guys. Subscribe and like for more content. Don't forget it.